Okay, this is my MacBook Pro 16-inch. I have 1 TB hard drive on it. I selected the second unit. I was at the Apple store trying to decide because I was seriously looking at the 14-inch. I'm used to having 16-inch because my last 3 or 4 were all 16-inch. So after talking with Apple there, I came to realize, okay, I knew exactly which one I need to get. As you probably are aware, I try to keep mine as long as possible, 5 years or more, and which is why it's important to choose the right one. Otherwise, you'll end up having to replace earlier because it's now underpowered. Okay, the reason I went for the 16 inches, it's a great screen. Apparently, resolution is great on it, and I use it mostly a lot on my desk. So a large screen would be great. Only occasionally do I use it away from home. So 16-inch would be my first choice if possible. But that was not enough reason for me. When it was explained to me that the 14-inch has only one fan and 16 gigabytes of memory, while I'll get more with the 16-inch, I'll get 2 fans and 24 gigabytes memory without having to request it. Both cases, I would have to request a 1 terabyte drive. Now, if you're doing some really heavy stuff, the extra memory helps. The extra fan helps. You won't see the throttling effect. As you're doing its work, maybe after 5, 20, 30 minutes, it will start to slow down and the fans start to come up. You won't reach that point as often if you had more memory and also 2 fans. I have yet to hear my fan cut in. I have 12 spaces, and I set my screensaver at every 5 seconds. Right now it's 1 minute for this video. Random, so every screen is different. And I can be working away and don't see no hesitation, no fan. So, good indication I'm going to enjoy it. Yes, I use this not only for work, for chores, assignments, but while I'm using it, it's a source of enjoyment because I have about, 10 years, over 20K of pictures, mostly pictures, not too much in the way of video. I was never heavy into videos at the time. Yes, there is some 1 megapixels, 2 megapixels, and 4 and 8 megapixel pictures here. And in the last few years, it was 48 megapixels raw. So this is where you see the quality of the pictures improve when you're viewing the 48 megapixels. You're working away and you get these nice memories. Oh yeah, which is probably why it's mostly sceneries, because those are my favorite memories. So it can be great for mental health and at the same time practical. Okay, there is an area where I've been asked what's my settings and why, and I'm going to talk about that next. Your devices, doesn't matter what brand or what type of device, whether it be your phone or your laptop, iMac, whatever, Windows. So many benefits to it. However, it is also a weapon against you. It can ruin your life. Even though you have nothing to hide. In fact, the term Why are you worrying about privacy if you have nothing to hide? It's really a cover story to intimidate people that you have something to hide because you want privacy. No, it's not a matter of you got nothing to hide. It's called consent. I don't give no one permission to share my address, to share what my hobbies are, or where I shop, what I buy, or especially my address. I don't want spam. I don't want the spam and the criminals, or be bothered by hundreds and hundreds of emails coming in. It has nothing to do with me. Or when I'm browsing for one specific thing, someone's throwing me all these sites that may have items that are of interest. If I want that information, I'll request it, but I don't. And unfortunately, your friends can also end up being a weapon. You have friends that don't protect their privacy. I'll give you an example. Let's say a social app, Signal. If you ever use Signal, when you first time use it, it wants to access your contacts. Okay? If my friends have information like my address, my emails in their contact, Signal has it, and who knows what they do with it. Are they selling it to someone? So you may even have to think about, what do I share with my friends, even my best friends? Perhaps you may want to have an email, an alias email that you can give to your friends, so that when you do get clobbered with it, you just delete the alias. And this is where Apple has that feature, seeing that it's a Mac. So that's something to consider. Now, when I'm talking about setting up your Mac for privacy, I'm talking about commercial privacy. Nothing to do with the rest, neutral, no opinions, whatever. Strictly commercial. You don't want to be hacked, your bank account drained. Those are the areas that you can do something to protect yourself. Anything beyond that, well, you probably need a degree in programming. And all the security degree. So we're not going to go there. And for me, it's not a problem. I have no issues in those areas. It's just commercial. So I'm going to just talk about how to minimize your personal information being shared. And at the same time, your best friends don't accidentally compromise your consent. Okay? So that's the basis. Let's talk about some of those things. Email is probably and can be the most irritating source of spam and stealing information about you, links and stuff like that. So there's a couple of things that you can do. Use alias emails. Apple provides that. And when you get too much of emails coming in with that alias, you can delete it and create a new one. Simple, but it's there, it's free. In my case, I go a little bit further. When I receive email, regardless where it comes from, a lot of the emails have a link. So the minute you open it up, or even touch that email, whoever sent it, they know that you opened it. And they know it becomes a valid email. And then they can sell that email or throw you more spam. I use a program. I'm not going to be specific about the program, so that's something, there's more than one. So, but there's one program that I use, and I have it set up that no outgoing connections is permitted. So I receive a spam and I open it, no pictures because they're linked. Only anything that's not linked will show up, which is usually some text and stuff like that. This way, they don't know I opened it. Then I can go ahead and mark it as junk and never see that sender again. And set it up so that it deletes automatically. I believe Apple only allows 30 days or when you quit or something like that. So whatever setting works for you. It blocks. So no matter what email I open and look at, the sender does not know. So look for an app that will do that for you. I also have it set up for Safari, where when I launch Safari, it's going to ask, do you want these links to open up? And I would say all until I quit, so I don't have to fool around. There are once in a while a few sites that, it could be porn, it could be ads, a lot of weird stuff. Then I specifically block it. Like I block Facebook, I block Twitter. So even though I give permission to Safari, any links to Facebook, Twitter, and a whole bunch of other ones, never make it. And then when I quit Safari, everything's back to normal. Everything is locked out. It's one way to reduce a lot of scam and people trying to track you. Most of them I'm sure are commercial, but you can go to a site and not realize it was hacked or compromised, and they can be getting information out of you. So that's something you may want to consider. Okay. I won't go into too much details on it. It's just more or less to let you know those apps exist and how you can handle it. Another area that you may have a habit of doing is passwords. Just in event someone does get into your computer or gets access to your password manager, it's possible. So what I do, thinking that possibility exists, any sensitive sites that you went to, and you're not going to go back and delete it, okay? Plus, most sites that you go to, have passwords, so this way it satisfies the website, because they require you to log in to do anything. However, there are a couple of websites that you should never save your password. You need, for example, your bank account. Never save your bank account. Create a good password that you could remember and not forget. And then another site perhaps would be a credit card. Don't use the same password. Again, something that's complicated enough, but you can remember. And of course, always good to use two-step factor. This way, you're prompted to enter a number. It helps. So that's something for you to think about. You may want to clean up your passbook. What do you call it on Apple now? Passwords, yeah. delete any that you no longer need, or change it. If you delete it in your passbook, you'll probably never be able to log in. You change it, then you delete it, whatever. And check to be sure that there's no sites there that you saved that you would not want anyone to have access to it, because financially it can destroy you. Small little thing, but something to think about. Apple certainly has a good security system, a lot of features. The thing that I'm disappointed often is that Apple leaves it off. It'd be nice if by default it's all turned on. Wherever there is an option where it asks help Apple improve search or improve Siri or improve whatever, I turn it off. Anonymous really isn't anonymous. You collect enough pieces of information from all sorts of different sources, and it could be put together and a profile is created. So when it says anonymous, I consider that as a statement, nothing else. When you go to your privacy and security settings, turn off full disk access. Turn off as much as possible and on only for those that are needed. And the ones that probably needed would be some disk tools, utilities, whatever, or some program that does repairs for you. And then turn it off. Don't leave it on all the time. And, if you're not sure, try turning them all off and see what kind of windows pop up, and then if you want to give them that permission. Locations is another thing. Turn off all the locations. There will be a few that you will leave on because of security, like Find Mine. You want the ability to find Mine in case you're searching for your device. Perhaps you want local weather, or maybe some calendar events that are specific to location. So you have to decide. And then there is photo. Turn it all off. And if you do give permission to some of the photo apps, just use selected photos only. Don't give them full contact. Okay? Contact social apps. Don't allow any of your social apps to have access to your contacts. Never. And when you say no, a little bit later on, it'll pop up again and asking for you. My solution, when it does that, and if I don't need it, it goes into the trash. I try to stick with one message app. iMessage works for me. If I do have to use another one because of a project, well, I'm just very careful with it. Again, a profile over time can be built about you. There certainly is a lot more. There is a feature that you may want to consider. There's settings, and I believe it's in your account, where you can access your account online. You have to allow web access. The trouble with allowing web access technically it means you're giving Apple permission to look at your iCloud. At least they're able to do it. It's not protected as you think. And another feature is that you may not be aware is you have to enable the iCloud lock option and create a contact.
It's 12 o'clock.
Those are areas, I'm not going to go into details, but just to make you look at it, because if you go online and search specifically, it'll explain how to do it. Only when those things are... Okay, I think I had my screen go dark and stop my recording. I think a couple words got cut off on my last video. Basically, you need to protect your iCloud. You got to create a contact, lock out your iCloud. Otherwise, that's the only way. Not even Apple can look at your iCloud, look at your pictures. Who knows what it's used for. You want to protect your family. You don't want your kids' pictures all over the internet. Okay, there's one more thing I want to show, and then we'll probably cut it short and save it for another time. I sometimes get disappointed with Apple because they make changes, add features, remove features that I love, can't use anymore. And Finder was one of them. And I'm still experimenting how to find another option. So I've been looking at Windows in my Finder, my apps. One reason I have so many spaces is that I don't like to see the Finder window showing up on top of one of the apps I'm working. When I click on the Finder, it will take me to a specific window and I can do all my browsing. And I know there are menu commands and I got to use the mouse to move my windows around. And what I've done is I've created my own shortcut, my own keys. For example, center, which is a command, option, and backslash, I guess they call it. If it doesn't work with your combination, it's because it's used elsewhere. So, and then left half, right half, top half, bottom half. They work for me. Oh, no, not the half, sorry. Just realized I meant quarters, because if you notice, I change the keys to match what I want right here. Okay, let me show you what it does. It's so quick. I can't, and I can go center, just like that. Handy little tool. There's a whole bunch of little things like that you may want to look at. The options are like so many that you'll never use all of them. Just find the ones that you need and it'll work for you. And what I like is when I click on that, it takes me right there. If I click on this, it takes me right back. I have all the screen space that I would like. Okay. Okay, we'll cut it short here. If it's enough interest or questions are asked, I can give you a couple more of these little shortcuts there that might work for you. Again, it's appreciated if it was of interest and want more. I have a varied topic on this site, so perhaps this particular video is not of interest, but maybe the other ones are. Would appreciate it if you subscribed if you haven't, and thumbs up, of course, would be great. Have a nice day, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thank you.